älskar dig. Jag älskar dig. It's a very windy day today. We had lots of snow this night. I'm so tired. This is really good exercise to go fast with the sled. And there's a really long uphill to my art studio. My dad is here now, plowing snow with his tractor. I am so grateful that he can do the plowing. It really makes life easier.
Too much.
Very much, but very good job. Tack så mycket!
Hej.
Hej. So nice. Look at this. I put up Christmas stars in the windows, but I actually did it after Christmas. I did it now in the beginning of January because I hadn't been here during December really. And I am one of these people that keeps the Christmas lights for a very long time. I keep them until it feels like the winter is over because I like the soft light. Hi everybody! I am in my art studio now. It feels so good to be here because I had such a horrible dream about my art studio the other night. And honestly, I've had so many bad dreams about my art studio ever since I moved my work in here 6 months ago. And it all comes down to the fear of losing it. Every dream is kind of the same. I dream that it burns down. And the other night, it was just even more real. I dreamt that there was a big forest fire in this village, like the whole forest behind our houses was burning. And I just called my mom that we have to pack our things and just get out of the village as fast as possible. But then it calmed down, so we didn't need to leave the village because the fireman was helping out. When I thought it was all gonna be okay, then I see that my art studio is catching fire. And I just run to it and I just see how the house is burning, and I can't even describe the feeling inside of me that I felt. It was so much sorrow and just fear. I don't know, it just felt like a part of me died. But then suddenly a fireman and a fire truck comes and they quickly how do you say, kill the fire? They put down the fire. So the house was saved. It was of course very damaged, but it was saved and I was so grateful. And then the fireman quickly had to go to another place. So I stayed here by my art studio, just outside to watch it. Then suddenly the grass around the house catch fire again. And I quickly run inside into the kitchen and put the tap on to fill a bucket, but the tap, actually in reality, the tap is really slow. When you turn the tap on, the water flows really slowly. And it was like that in the dream too, but 100 times more. And I just stood there by the kitchen trying to fill this bucket with water while I see the corners of the house starting to catch fire again and the smoke is coming, and it was just such panic. Oh, it was a horrible dream. I made a post on Instagram about these dreams I have about my art studio catching fire. And I mean, it's very symbolic, I think. My art studio is one of the biggest gifts I ever received in my life, I feel like. It's hard to explain why, but it's just, it gives me a feeling of safety that I cannot really feel like I've ever had that feeling before in a place. Feels like I've been looking for it all my life. And now I have it, so I just have this deep fear of losing it, I guess. So yeah, I wish I could stop dreaming these horrible dreams. I'm sure if I just give it some time, I'm gonna be able to just feel the gratitude instead of this fear of losing it. Cheers on you guys. So I had no plans of doing this video. I just got the feeling today that I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys. So this is gonna be a boring video, like it's just gonna be me talking, I guess. Because we had a pretty rough time for the past, yeah, soon 2 weeks. Oh, I'm still so emotional. It's been, for the past 3 days, I've been so sad and worried, and yeah, but it has to do with Nanuk, or our dog Nanuk. He has been poorly. He has been really sick, and I really thought I had cried out all my tears, but suddenly they are coming again. Oh, I don't want to sit here and cry. It's just so, yeah, it's just been very intense. About 2 weeks ago, Nanuk got like a cold. We think he got something called kennel cough. He had that 2 times before. It's like when they start to cough, or it's not really coughing, it's like... It's usually nothing dangerous. It's just, of course, hard for the dog when it's at its peak, because they get this, yeah, coughing a lot. And since Nanuk is very old, these things takes very hard on him. So one of the nights he got fever, and he was just really low on energy, and he was breathing very shallow and quick. I really thought he was gonna die that night. And I mean, we live an hour away from the veterinary, so just bringing him in the car would be like a nightmare. So we decided to just make it really cozy for him and just taking care of him and be there all the time. I just lighted candles all over the room, and I just prayed from the bottom of my heart that he would heal from this. It took some days, it went slow, but he actually made it through. He got better and better, and I was so relieved when finally the coughing started to disappear. It's about 3-4 days ago. Then he catched something else, and we are 99% sure that it's called vestibular syndrome, vestibulärt syndrome in Swedish. It's called like old dog vestibular syndrome, and it's something that affects the balance. It's in the ears, the inner ears, and it's also nothing dangerous really, but it's really hard for the dog and also for the owners. It's like it's horrible. It's a bit similar to something called kristallsjukan in Swedish. Crystal sickness. It's when the balance system just goes totally off, and you feel like you're super drunk, when your world is just turning upside down, and you can't really walk without losing your balance. And it's exactly the same for the dog. So it's like they are so dizzy. So we noticed this because his eyes were going to the sides, and he lost his balance, and he couldn't really walk straight, and he fell down a lot, and so horrible, because our first thought was that he got a stroke. But then we found out about this disease, because if it was a stroke, it should have been other symptoms as well. And this happened, yeah, almost 3 days ago now. And it feels so weird when I say only 3 days ago, because both me and Johan has been like in a vacuum. It feels like it's been 3 weeks, because we've just been so worried, and like time has gone so slow, because it's just been intense. Today it's Monday, so we called the veterinary today and explained to see what they would recommend, and just as we read and looked at videos, we have researched everything. Especially Johan, he's been just looking at videos about this disease and reading everything so we know how to best take care of him. So we got a recommendation to wait a few days, so we're going in on Thursday. Because usually this disease is at its peak for 72 hours, so like 3 days, and then usually it gets better. That's not always the case. I mean, it can last for weeks and even months, I think, but usually it just lasts for a few days. So now we are just in the state of waiting out the time and hoping that things will get better. It's just been heartbreaking to see him suffer, because I mean, he doesn't have pain, not that we know. It's just that it's very scary for the dogs, because of course the world is just moving, so you see their eyes are going like this, and it can be very stressful for them. And I mean, he can't walk out and pee without falling in the snow, so we have to help him, and it's just really heartbreaking to see. And because of the dizziness, they also get very sick and nauseous. So he has been throwing up a lot, and oh, yeah, it's just been so much. But today it feels like it's a little bit better. He seemed to walk better and his eyes are moving less. And we've been out today, me and Nanuk, just shoveling snow, and he seems like more relaxed. So we are just really hoping that it's gonna be better now, that in a few days he will be back to normal again. So these days we have just been with him all the time. We have just, snuggled with him, we are sleeping next to him, and yeah, we just want to make him feel safe. Now, when it's a little bit better today and we've been outside, he's home resting now with Johan, and I decided to go here for a while and just get some work done, because the things are still happening in the world, even if it feels like everything stopped. For me, it feels like everything is on pause. If any of you have ever had a dog with vestibular syndrome, or maybe a cat or whatever, if you have any advice or if you just want to share the experience, please feel free to do that. It's just so nice to hear other people's experiences and how they did and how long it lasted. So it's just been a very worrisome time lately, and I feel like we're still in the middle of it, and I just pray with all my heart that it's gonna be okay. I don't feel ready yet, and I will never feel ready. But yeah, the most important is that he is feeling good. As long as I can see that he wants to live and that he has that spirit, I'm gonna do everything I can for him to enjoy another day in life. It's getting a little bit dark outside. I don't know, I just felt like sharing about this because I know so many of you care about Nanuk. I know I have followers that even follow Nanuk more than follow me, and I totally understand. Nanuk is such a beautiful spirit. I think he have brought a lot of joy and smiles to many people around the world. And thank you for caring about him, and thank you for loving him. I really hope that in my next video I can let you know that he's healed and that he's back on track and feeling well again. Now when he's feeling better again, when he's not as dizzy and less nauseous and he can actually keep the food, we are giving him wild moose meat from the forest here. You can see how his eyes are brightening up when he smells the meat, and I think it's really good for him. I got Nanuk when I was 21 years old, and I got him exactly when I moved from Gothenburg, the city, to this place. So Nanuk is... it feels like he's like the foundation of my life here. It feels like we grow up together. When I was 21 years old, I mean, I thought I was grown up back then, but wow, I was a baby. I was a baby, really. I think there's so much changing within you from your early 20s to 30s, there's so much happening and growing and maturing. And I feel like we we grew up together, me and Nanuk. We were just babies running around, and we have been through so much. So thank you for listening, everybody. I feel like I'm just talking about sad things today, but that's my mood right now. I feel very low, but even if it feels really hard to do anything else right now, I think I'm gonna spend an hour here just doing something that I love. I think it's needed so I can bring back some good energy to Nanuk later. I think I'm gonna go upstairs and continue on a painting. I have made a little plan for myself that these winter months that we have ahead of us now, I'm going to focus on two things that I have been put aside so much for the past years even. But every day I think of it and I want to do it, but I never feel like I allow myself to do it. And that is painting and music. These two things are something that I long so much to do more of. I feel so much inspiration when it comes to these two art forms, but the past years it has been so much focus on other things, and sometimes when you haven't done something in a long time, it's like you have this wall in between you and the thing you want to do. It feels so scary and so hard to even get started. I know that you know what I mean. And I definitely struggle with that a lot. And especially singing and painting has been like a big blockage for me, because it's been such a long time since I really practiced it a lot. So I've been feeling like I've lost the ability to do it. Like I can't paint anymore and I can't sing anymore. That's been a truth that I've been telling myself for a long time. And even though I've really been wanting to do these things, there's always been a reason for why I can't do it. And some of the reasons are true and some of the reasons are just in my head. The true reasons is that I have had a problem with space, with having a place to do these art forms lately. But now when I have my art studio, that problem is solved. I have the perfect space for doing both of these things. But then I'm usually too busy, so I never had time, because painting and singing, to me that is something I can only do when I feel no attachment to other things that I have to do. I can only sing from my heart or paint from my heart when I feel no stress and when I feel that I do it just because I want to do it. I don't see these things as a job. I see it more like something that grows out when I feel at peace. And I have been very busy for a long time, I think. I feel like I never really feel that freedom, like, oh, I've done the job I needed to do today, so I have a weekend in my art studio. That doesn't really happen anymore, because there's always something more you can do, there's always something more to work on. I've just been very aware of that lately, that actually it's my responsibility to change the prioritizement. I have to prioritize the things I truly want to do instead of all these things that I think I have to do. So maybe I will have to do less of some things so that I get more time to do music and painting. So I just decided that this winter, because it's only January still, I'm going to focus a lot on these projects, and it felt so good in my heart when I took that decision that I'm gonna prioritize a little bit different for the months to come. I don't know how that's gonna affect everything else. I'm sure I'm not gonna be able to keep up with things I usually keep up with, but that is fine, because this is what I want to do. When it comes to music, I realized that I had forgot to tell you in my earlier video that my music is finally up on Spotify now. I have 3 songs that is up on Spotify, but My full album will come up February 7. They will also be on all other streaming platforms, but you can find 3 of my songs there now. I know people have been asking for my music on Spotify for so many years, and I've always promised that it will happen. But that too has been like a huge blockage in me. To go from just making music because it's fun to actually release it and it becomes something serious. And that has been an issue with both the painting and the music. It was something that I did just because it was fun. I didn't think of it any like something that was supposed to become something real, and then it did, and then it felt like I couldn't do it anymore because suddenly, am I a musician now? I don't know how to do music. I've just been experimenting, you know. Oh, I realized that it felt good to talk about something easier, to just take a break from the worrying a little bit. So now I'm gonna start tearing down the walls when it comes to singing and painting. That's gonna be my top 2 priorities for the months to come. And that's also because the winter is the perfect time for doing music and for painting, because it's something you do a lot within. Just close yourself in the studio and just create, and I just love that. And the summer, the energy of summer is a little bit more screaming. It's harder to hear the voice of your heart when the energy is so loud all around. But now it's so quiet and it's easier to just do something creative, I think. Getting darker again. I have to make it lighter. I'm sitting by the window, like here, so it's gonna get some light on my face. If some of you are still listening and watching the video, I feel like I've been talking for so long, but this thing about breaking the walls that you have built up for something that you want to do, but you're not doing it because you just keep pushing it to the future. Maybe it can inspire you to just do it. Do you want to break the walls with me? Almost everyone have something that they go and think about that they want to do every day. Like deep in their heart, they hear this whisper, but they just don't listen to it because, yeah, you're too busy doing other things. And I guess it is often true in a way. We are so busy that it's hard to set time for that thing you want to do. I guess I just would be so happy if there's some of you watching that felt that you could relate to how I felt around making music and painting, you know, the wall that I built up. If you also felt inspired to start breaking your own walls for whatever it is that you want to do. There's no better time to start than now. Take 5 minutes and do something, whatever it is, that you feel this blockage around. And I promise you that these 5 minutes later on gonna turn to 10 minutes and suddenly you have opened up this flow again. And before I stop this long conversation, there is one thing I also want to mention to you. That is something totally different. For those of you who have watched the video called, what was it called? You know, my most important video that I did with all of you. I feel like I talk about that video a lot, but that's because I really like that video. Yeah, the video is called A Message That Will Change Your Life, and I will link it here somewhere. I know a lot of you have been watching it, and if you have, you maybe remember at the very end of the video there is a woman called Melinda Larrabee from Wyoming, and she totally stole our hearts. I saw so many comments out there feeling the exact same way as I did when I saw that video for the first time. I remember I just burst into tears when I saw her video because it was just something about her energy and the way she spoke. She felt like a mother to all of us on this earth. She felt so wise and so calm, and yeah, I can't describe. She just went straight into my heart, and I know she went straight into so many other hearts as well.
Hello, Jen. Hello, rest of the world. My name is Melinda Larrabee, and I live in Wyoming. USA. That's my friends back there, a couple of them anyway. That's Festus the Black and Captain the Red. We ride in this place, and we live here on a little place that I have and I'm working on. I'm going to turn as I go so you can kind of see how things look. What I want to say to you all is that I've been around a long time now, and I've seen a lot of the world and what's going on, how people are. And I want to tell you from deep down inside my soul, I love you. I love you. Why? Because I know that all of us, underneath whatever it is we do, wherever it is we go, and whoever it is we think we are, we're actually very, very, very much alike. And we have great heart and we have great soul. And we will not let anything stop us from loving our families, loving our ways of life, loving the things that have become dear to us, our friends, our animals, any of this stuff. And because I believe in you that what you're going through may be hard. It's just the way it is right now. Do your very best and find strength from way down deep inside. And just to help you out just a little bit, I'm telling you now, I love you. And I will always love you. Because I believe in you, and I believe in humanity.
Recently, I got to know that this woman, Melinda Sue, she has a YouTube channel now where she shares a lot of her music. She's such a good musician. She sings, she plays the piano, she plays the guitar, and she does everything. She's so cool. I just know a little bit of her. I've been following her for a while on Facebook, so I've seen some glimpses of her life, and I'm so curious on that woman. But I wanted to share with you that she has YouTube now, if some of you wanted to follow her, since I know a lot of you felt the same way watching her beautiful message. Her name on YouTube is Melinda Combs, and I will put the link up here and also in the video description of this video, so you can go follow her and watch her beautiful videos. I remember after seeing her message and after publishing the video, I had this dream of going and visiting her. I mean, that's still a dream of mine. That would be so cool to go and visit her someday and just make a little video about her. Just being able to sit by a fire with her, interviewing her, letting her share some of her wisdom. I feel like she has gone through a lot, and I think she has a lot to share with the world. That would be like a dream come true. So Melinda Sue, if you ever see this, I hope you know that I'm your biggest fan, and I hope I get to meet you one day, and yeah, you are amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to share her channel with you guys, because I think it's important in these times to share beautiful things that makes you smile. So now I think I'm gonna go upstairs for a little while and just spend some time breaking some walls and continue on a painting. And then later I'm gonna go back home and take care of Nanuk and make sure he has everything he needs. But I feel very safe knowing that he's home with Jonna now, just sleeping. Yeah, I just want to say that it means a lot to me that you listen and that you are here. And thank you so much for all your beautiful comments on my previous video. I'm blown away every time I post a video to see your response. My big, beautiful family out there, I love you so much. I don't really know you guys, but when I think of you, I see like a big crowd of beautiful energy, and I feel a lot of love to that. Now, please take care, everyone. Take care of yourself and everyone you love. I will be back soon again. Sending so much love to y'all. Mwah! Bye bye.